Hi, I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I am excited to show you guys what I found at the thrift shops today. I know a few of you have mentioned in the comments that you'd love to go thrifting, but you're watching your pennies, and I just want to make it clear that I spend a lot of time in the thrift stores, but most of the time these days I leave empty-handed. I'm being very selective of what I buy, and my thought process is it's always fun to go and see what there is to see. And this is the first sign of what was great at this thrift shop. These are rolls of paper that you use for free motion quilting with a long arm. That's outside my realm of quilting, but it is definitely a sign that there are quilting goodies to be found at the Safe Haven thrift shop today. I love that this store always has their embroidered pieces in this little set of baskets, and there's usually some really cute stuff, but they're asking probably what it is worth, and I'm cheap. You knew that. This was mostly scrapbooking, but there are a couple of fat quarters and a quilt pattern in there, a little more of a sign that someone's donated quilting stuff. This room originally that we're going into was where they had the craft supplies, but they've moved them to another area of the store, and they're not quite as easy to find. If you love rubber stamps, they had a ton. I see so many of those in the thrift shops. So this is the corner where the craft supplies now lurk. I love these calendars, and that one was really neat, but not for $5. Do you see what I see in that box? I'll move a couple of things out of your way so that you can see what I saw. That is a jelly roll. If you are not a quilter, jelly rolls are pre-cut bundles of fabric. There are some that are inexpensive, Walmart or Joann's, but this stuff in my hand, this is from the quilt shop. And a bedazzled green dragon because I'm thrifting with my boys today. This whole bin had so much fabric, all of it pre-cuts. There were charm packs, there were jelly rolls. A good portion of it was from Connecting Threads, but there were also a lot of quilt shop brands I saw in there. And at this point, when I was editing the video, you could tell my breathing actually changed when I started digging and finding this stuff. Luckily, these are not the colors that make my heart go pity-pat, because if they had been Civil War reproductions or some darker, more classic color combinations, my budget would have been in trouble. I don't buy jelly rolls new. I want to say they're $30 or $40, and the ones that I was picking up there were $4 and $5. The charm packs, I think, were $2 or $1.50. This stuff was so cheap, and it was pristine, like it had just come out of the quilt shop. It makes you wonder what happened to the quilter who donated all of this. Did they just realize that they had too much and wanted to purge? Did they give up quilting? Did they die? This is a shop that supports the local, I'm pretty sure it's a no-kill animal shelter, so they get some really nice donations. And this is the point where I sat down the camera and sat on the floor and just dug through everything. That fabric is the bundle that I used to make the 30s barn raising quilt tutorial I did for Moda a few years back. That I made a quilt from. It's from Connecting Threads and was one of my favorites. I was so sad to see it used up when I did make it into a quilt. There aren't words. I have found treasure troves at this thrift store like this before, but they are few and far between, and I have never found pre-cuts, let alone that many in that kind of condition. And once I got done digging through all of that, we went through the rest of the shop, and look at this. I hope that the avocado and the garlic clove, and is that an artichoke? Oh, I hope that is all fake. I didn't jiggle it to see if that was resin or liquid, but just ew. I'm going to wind up buying some of those brass brown wall hangings for my house one of these days. Looked through the gift wrap and the other things just in case. There was cool stuff just throughout the store, like an Easter egg hunt almost. This is always a fun store to browse. They have the stuff you see at every thrift store, and then sometimes they have some really fun stuff. I always like looking at their kitchen stuff. I usually don't buy any of it, but it's fun. And some days you just want to get out of the house and into the world, and thrift stores are more fun than the mall. Antique shops, estate sales. You never know what you're going to see, and that is the part of it that I like. Went to look to see if there was any needlework hanging there, but that is all prints. And back through the bric-a-brac, they have so much bric-a-brac and old dolls, but the better dolls are coming. That one looks like a doll my mom had, and I didn't notice it standing in the store. I always see things later when I'm watching the video playback. And here is, look at the card table and the still life with flowers. And I could have seriously fallen for that card table, but not for $75. Love the old Raggedy Anns. And this is an old album. It was greeting cards that popped up, except they were so old and had been folded up so long in there that most of them did not pop anymore. Only the first 4 or 5 pages had cards in them, so it was like someone's start at a salesman's sample book. Really neat artifact from the past, but something I can live without. And some days I do better than others at what I can and can't live without. This is our second stop of the day, and look at these chairs. Those are wood and sinew and cane and just kind of bewildering. I would love to have seen what table those originally came with. The boys said they were very uncomfortable to sit on. These wicker chairs I could imagine on one of those wide covered porches, which I'm not buying any more chairs. Just remind me of that. Fabulous kitchen island, but it makes me wonder, it was originally priced at $1,400. Do people come to the thrift store to spend $1,400 on a kitchen island? They had some really strange, really expensive stuff today. This elephant head, I want to say it was almost life-size, but I think I'm misremembering just how enormous elephants are. And they had some nice cribs, which I don't know. And a huge basket full of salt and pepper shakers. So where did these donations come from? There's a story behind all this. Another head, and it is the return of the snooty chicken crock pot that my son fell in love with a few videos ago. They had 2 in different colors. And somewhere on there, he will find that chicken for you. We checked, the chicken is there. Right, there he is. I think he may get a snooty chicken crock pot for Christmas if I can find one then. And they seem to be all over the place lately, so who knows. If you wanted to, you could bake your loved one a cake shaped like a stadium. That looks like a lot of work for not a lot of cake. No Pyrex, but there was some Corningware. I grew up with the blue flowered Corningware, and I don't know if that is just where my eyes automatically go to on these shelves, or if that is all that I ever see. I was reading something lately about uranium glass, and I really want to get a little black light to see if we can find any in the stores. I'm not quite clear on what it looks like out in the wild, but it did give the boys and I something else interesting to quest for. My husband had glasses like these, minus the daisies, when we were first married. And look at these guys. They are, I don't know what they are. They're creepy. They were like paper and cloth over a wire frame, and I just don't know. And a milk glass chicken that I think someone put red acrylic paint on. Have you ever seen a milk glass chicken with a red comb? I don't know if I hope it's original or not. the entire Nightmare on Elm Street series on VHS for $40. Because I don't understand. So this is my mother's Mother's Day present. 3 jelly rolls from the thrift shop. I dropped them off to her because I didn't know if I'd be in town to visit again before Mother's Day, and she was thrilled. So tell me, what is your stance on thrifted gifts? Do you think they're acceptable or not? I've heard people make arguments both ways. I wouldn't try to pass a thrifted gift off as new, and my mom knows me well enough to know that I wouldn't have spent what those would have cost retail anyway. I think some of the best gifts that I've gotten over the years have been thrifted, and of course all bets are off when you're buying things for your own kids, especially when your own kids are into vintage. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Michelle with Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I'll be back with another video soon.